Hi Pisces, how are you? I hope that you are doing well. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Nina or Sinfulpluto, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again today, and I hope that you receive a message that you need to hear for the next 2 weeks. This is going to apply to Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I decided to do you guys first because we have a Pisces full moon coming up. When is it coming up? On the 13th, I believe. The 13th or the 14th. I think it's the 13th Eastern Standard Time, but like at like 11:30 Eastern Standard. So yeah, I'm very excited for this moment. This reading is going to apply for the dates between September 9th, today, all the way through the 22nd, okay? So we'll actually be getting into a little bit of Libra season for these 2 weeks, so I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I love Libra season. I'm ready for what's in store. Alrighty, let's see. So what else do I need to tell you? I already said Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. This is going to apply for sidereal and tropical, so make sure to check both to see what resonates most with you. Yeah, that's it. Let's get into it. Alrighty. So today I'm using my Waite deck. I haven't used this in a minute, but I felt very called to use this deck. It feels very much like home. I feel like I need that right now. So let's see. What is in store for Pisces between September 9th through the 22nd? What do they need to be aware of? What is in store for them? What should they be expecting between September 9th and the 22nd? Pisces. Oh shit. So we got the Tower, and it came out sideways. Came out like that. So we're going to be talking about both little definitions here. So I see a major restructuring here, especially with the full moon that's coming forward. I feel like there's a major restructuring that is needed in your life. I feel like this doesn't have to be as dramatic as it sounds. I know that everyone is like, you should fear the Tower. They know the Death card isn't nearly as scary as the Tower. I promise you that neither of those cards are as scary as they seem, or as scary as people hype them up to be. The Tower just signifies that there is a restructuring that is happening in your life. There's a new phase. There's a new chapter that you are being presented right now. And sometimes, yes, it can be a little bit hard. It can be a little bit, you know, a little bit rocky at times, sure, but it doesn't have to be this big dramatic explosion, although at the very extreme it can be if you are not handling and managing yourself correctly. But yes, so we have the Tower. So yes, I'm not surprised that this card is coming out. I feel like this entire month of September has been about ultimate transformation and really coming into our new skin and just shedding the old. And I feel like a lot of us are really coming into alignment with what we have been working on for so long, and I feel like we're just ready for this. So yes, so there are certain things that might be falling apart, but that is a blessing, because that breaking down, the Tower that is burning down, that is clearing up space for you to build something new. That's essentially what you want. You want to clear space. I feel that with this Pisces new moon, that is the ultimate time, the best time for you, especially Pisces, for you to release all that is old, all that does not serve you, all that is just not good for you. Everything that you have been maybe clinging on to, or anything that has just been leeching off of you, this is the best time for you, Pisces, to release and let go of that. Full moons are not about manifestation. Full moons are not about bringing in new things. Full moons are all about letting go of the old and clearing up space so that by the new moon, you can accept and receive and manifest all of the new things that you want into your life. The full moon isn't about manifesting and bringing in all of these new things. No, this is about reflecting on the last 2 weeks between the new moon and the full moon, and not only releasing all that hasn't served you or all that has, gone through its time, and, the things that have already, reached its expiration date and letting go of them. It's also just a time to be grateful. It's a time to be grateful for all of the things that have served you, and to be grateful for all of the things that have benefited you. And, once if and when they have released their, if and when they have reached their expiration date, to let go of them. This is a time for gratitude. This is a time to acknowledge your ancestors, or to acknowledge your spirit guides or your angels or whoever is taking care of you, or whatever you believe in. And thanking them for protecting you, for helping you, for guiding you, all of that sort of stuff. Okay? Okay. We have the Two of Pentacles reversed. We have the Hanged Man reversed, your energy, Pisces. And then we have the Knight of Cups reversed. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups. Under that is the Lovers reversed. You could be dealing with a Gemini. Okay. So the Two of Pentacles reversed. This kind of tells me that you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed with this Two of Pentacles. This can signify that maybe you brought on a little bit too much onto your plate. I'm feeling a little bit warm, like really overwhelmingly warm. I don't know if this is like you, Pisces, or if it's just me, but like, I'm not wearing a lot right now, so I don't understand why I'm getting so warm. Anyways, the Two of Pentacles can signify, I think, that you're overwhelming yourself a little bit. You're overworking yourself. I feel like you're trying to handle too many things at once. I feel like a lot of you, I feel like some of you are maybe trying to, I don't want to say like maybe some of you are trying to outsmart the universe in a way, which, never works out. But I feel like some of you are kind of in this stage of going back and forth on something. Maybe you're going back and forth as to whether or not you truly want to go through this transformation, whether you truly want to let go of certain things in your life that no longer serve you. I feel like some of you are kind of going back and forth between this energy of the Tower and the Hanged Man reversed. Because right between these two cards is the Two of Pentacles reversed, and this is a decision that has to be made. This is a choice that you have to make, a very important choice that you have to make. And I feel like some of you maybe are avoiding this decision or wanting to avoid this decision. I know that some of you try to avoid looking at the reality of the situation and kind of staying in la la land, because it's easier to do that rather than be grounded sometimes. And, sometimes it's easier to go back to this Hanged Man energy of going back to what you know, going back to what is familiar to you, to be complacent in your actions, to be complacent in life, to be passive in life. And, I feel that this Tower is really, really a blessing for you, Pisces. And I feel like it is very much needed. And I feel that a lot of you might be trying to have the best of both worlds with this Two of Pentacles reversed, where it's like you want to have the change, but not really. You want to have the change, but you don't want to commit to it. You want to have the change, but you still want to have the option to go back to what is familiar whenever things get a little bit too hard. And that's just not something that you can really do. It's either one way or the other. So you can either receive this wonderful new life that is coming towards you. And I know that it looks scary because the Tower presents itself as a scary card. I understand. But I promise it's not. It's not as scary as it seems. So you can either accept and receive this new life and to trust in the universe and just to trust that everything will be okay and that you're being guided to a new and beautiful path. Or you can go back to the life of complacency, of pointing the finger at everyone and being passive in your own life and not making any sort of move and just being stuck in the past, being stuck in whatever limbo you're in, and having this sort of unwillingness to make any sort of change, to make any sort of sacrifice for the betterment of yourself. It's really ultimately up to you. And then we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So this could either be you or someone else. In all of my readings, you can always reverse the energies. If this isn't your own energy, then maybe it's someone who is surrounding you or someone else's energy, okay? It doesn't have to be yours specifically. Reverse the roles however way you need to. But I have the Knight of Cups reversed, so you could be dealing with another water sign, or this just could be your energy where someone is being a little bit emotionally immature, which makes sense, honestly, because we have the Hanged Man reverse, which to me is just someone really emotionally immature, someone who places the blame on everyone. But I also think with the Knight of Cups reverse, this is someone who just gets way too caught up in the fantasy, they get their hopes up way too quickly with no tangible reason. Like, they're not being presented with any sort of tangible reason as to why they should be getting their hopes up. And they end up kind of just being disappointed. But I also feel that with the Knight of Cups reversed, this is just someone who emotionally is not mature. They're, like I said, I feel like this person can be emotionally manipulative, or they just place the blame on everyone else, or they are just really passive aggressive. However way that may manifest for you, there's someone who is acting like that, whether it's you or someone else. And I feel like some of you are kind of wanting to revert to old ways, or you're starting to revert to old ways because you see the tower coming. You see the change coming, and I feel like some of you, for a while, or maybe for, let's say like middle of August up until now, you were saying like, I'm ready for change, I'm ready for this new life, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for that. And then once you actually start to see it, once you actually see the goal manifesting, I feel that some of you are kind of self-sabotaging, and some of you are kind of reverting to old ways because you're so comfortable in what you know, and you're so comfortable in the life that you're living right now. And I feel like it's easier to stay in what you know rather than to take that risk, to take that leap of faith, to build something new. And so I just see you guys reverting back to this Knight of Cups energy of just like kind of rejecting it almost, because the Knight of Cups reverse can also signify a rejection of an offer. And I feel that the universe is literally offering you this opportunity to clear your space. They're offering you an opportunity to do something better for yourself, to create a new life for yourself, to clear space so that you can later manifest whatever it is that you want. And I feel like you're rejecting that now. And it's like you are kind of, I feel like some of you are really going out of your way to be stuck where you are at. And I feel like a lot of you kind of don't want to untie yourselves. A lot of you are now kind of avoiding the new perspective. A lot of you are like looking away. You're turning the other cheek and you don't want to see it. And I feel like that's like, I mean, look, we have the Four of Cups here. This is really validation of everything that I say. Like, you were literally being offered. You were literally being offered an opportunity for emotional fulfillment, for emotional happiness, for emotional stability. And you're remaining indifferent to it. Why? Why are you remaining indifferent to this opportunity? Because it has a scary face? Because it's scary in appearance? Because you're not ready to leave the life that you're living now? I understand that as humans we enjoy the familiar, but at what cost will we continue living in a life that is predictable? And that does not promote growth, and that does not promote improvement in any sort of way. Because by rejecting the new and only embracing the old, we basically live in the past. Sorry, I'm itching my foot. We basically live in the past, and we don't make any sort of growth. And if anything, we continue to accumulate all of this energy, and we continue overwhelming ourselves and trying to like multitask and do all of these things, we go out of our way to remain in the circumstance that we're in. And obviously, like, there are obviously like extremes where you can't just like leave. I understand that. I'm not referring to those extreme circumstances. I'm referring to, when we do ultimately have the control of leaving something like that obviously like wouldn't physically hurt us or any sort of way. Does that kind of make sense? I hope I'm making sense. But I feel like a lot of us just go out of our way to stay in the life that we're living in, and we put in so much more work in remaining in the past or in remaining in the life that we're living than creating a new life for ourselves. And I feel like if we actually went out of our way to put in the same amount of energy that we do in trying to stay in the past, we would be so much happier. Because like, I hope you're not like losing me here, but I just feel like if we put the same amount of energy that we did in staying in the past into being in the present and moving forward towards a better future, we would be a lot happier. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because my ear is ringing. So, yeah. All right, let's go for it. So I see that overall indifference, and I see that with this Lovers reverse, like I said, you could be dealing with a Gemini. But I feel like with this Lovers reverse, this is just saying, like, yo, a lot of us don't want to make the right choice. The Lovers reverse signifies that there is a right and wrong choice that has to be made, and a lot of you will be tempted to make the easier choice rather than the choice that is actually correct for you. Listen, the Lovers, these were on top of each other, or the Lover, or this card was like that. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean. There's an ultimate choice that you have to make here, and I feel that a lot of you are rejecting and remaining indifferent to this opportunity, to this new chapter in your life, to this Tower moment, because all you see is the destruction, and you see, your perspective is that this destruction is something incredibly negative, is something that won't benefit you, is something terrifying. All you see is the burning or whatever, but you don't realize that this fire is clearing up space for you to rebuild something better and bigger, or maybe even completely different. Like I said in the beginning, this is a time for you to restructure. And I feel that a lot of you are having a hard time making the right decision for yourself because, like I said, it's easier. It is so much easier to remain in what we know, to remain in the comfortable, and to remain in the familiar. And I feel like that's really, this full moon, I think, is really going to present a lot of truths to you, because I have Judgment here. This is a very important moment for you, this Pisces full moon. And within the next 2 weeks in general, I think is a very important time period for you to make a very important decision that could really impact your life. And it could either be for the better or maybe for the worse. And I think it's up to you whether you want to take this cup, whether you want to treat yourself, to nurture yourself to emotional fulfillment and happiness and stability, or if you just want to go back to the old life. But just remember that you cannot remain in the old life for long, because the universe, one way or another, will make you move forward. And sometimes, things have to get ugly if you choose time and time again to remain in the place that you are, if you choose to remain stagnant in the position that you're in. And so with this Judgment card, this is saying, like, this is a judgment call. It's ultimately your decision, what you do, and you will reap the consequences of that. And when I say consequences, I mean both positive and negative consequences, depending on what decision you end up making. If you open yourself up to the universe, and you open yourself up to this new life, to this tower, if you trust that this tower will lead you to the right path, you will be rewarded. And you will know that you made the right decision, and you'll be so much happier. You will be so much more emotionally fulfilled. And you will have so many opportunities coming your way. Two of Wands. You will have so many opportunities, and the world will be your oyster. The world will be your oyster. You will have all of its abundance. You will have all of these ideas, this creativity, this light, this passion to move forward. And I feel like you will get to know yourself even better, and I feel like you will unlock a part of yourself, and you will understand yourself so much more, and I feel like you will open yourself to a wonderful partnership even. The Two of Wands and the Two of Cups. Two of Wands, again, a decision. Two of Cups, this is soulmate energy to me. So maybe you're uniting with someone. I feel like for some of you are like this soulmate is on the other side of this tower. They're on the other side of the bridge, if that kind of makes sense. And maybe you don't even know this person quite yet, but whatever this is, whatever the thing that is meant for you, because this doesn't have to be a person. I feel like, even though, yes, I say soulmate energy, I feel like this is just like whatever it is that is meant for you, it will, like, whatever it is that is karmically meant for you, or just overall meant for you and meant to be in your life one way or another, that will find its way to you. And I feel like you will find this thing, whatever this is, once you go through your tower moment, because I feel like you will have so many epiphanies, so many revelations, all of this other stuff, so many just this sort of awakening or enlightenment, should I say. I don't like using those words really, but that's kind of what it feels like. And so I feel like once you kind of go through your little tower moment, okay, you'll be presented with the thing that is meant for you, and you will be presented with the abundance, and you will have so many opportunities for you to explore once you go through what you have to go through. So yeah. For others of you, just to get a little bit off topic or whatever, if this doesn't resonate with you, I feel like some of you are kind of just going through a little bit of a moment, a little bit of a tower moment. I feel like maybe some of you are rejecting the offer of someone, perhaps a soulmate with this Two of Cups, right? And there was a decision to be made with this Two of Wands. There's a strong partnership that is coming here. For a lot of you, I just feel like this is a relationship with yourself. But for some of you, I feel like someone is pointing the finger at something. Some of you could be living a double life with this Two of Pentacles reversed. I kind of view this as like someone living a double life or trying to live a double life at least. And with this Hanged Man reversed, I just feel like there's a lot of victimization in terms of the situation. And I feel like some of you are trying to maintain this double life, or you have been trying to maintain this double life for a very long time, but things are starting to fall apart, and there's really no way for you to maintain it anymore. And with this Hanged Man reversed, I feel like rather than kind of taking accountability for yourself and realizing like, man, like I kind of fucked up, I feel like you're kind of pointing the finger, or maybe even, you know, like blaming the universe for all of the downfalls or for all of the obstacles coming in your way. And you're blaming maybe even your partner or your spouse or your friend or your family, whoever it is. I feel like you're pointing the finger at everyone else, and you're not reflecting and realizing like you were the one that you fumbled a little bit. Maybe you were the one that made the mistake. Maybe you were the one who was at fault here. And so with this Knight of Cups, I feel like, again, like I said earlier, there is that sense of emotional immaturity, that lack of reflection. I feel that there could be a little bit of manipulation going on here. Whether it's you, Pisces, or someone else who is doing this to you. Maybe this other person was living a double life, and they don't want to take accountability for that. But I also feel like some of you are trying to offer an apology to someone with this Knight of Cups reversed, and this person is indifferent to it. And they're done with you. Like, they're indifferent, they're over it. You know, you had your 3 strikes, you had your 3 chances, and now that you're on your 4th, you're like, no, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm not. You had your chances, you had your, you know, game over. And so that's where we have the Lovers reverse, where there's that breakup or that loss of passion, or the relationship is no longer there in some sort of way. And it happens. It happens. I mean, I feel like a lot of this has to do with the fact that there's a sense of a lack of accountability, or a lack of responsibility, or even a lack of awareness in the situation. And if this resonates with you, I feel like this is your judgment moment to see how you approach the situation, to see how you mend things, maybe. And I feel like this is really a moment of truth for you. And I feel like, you know, with this Judgment card, this isn't the first time that this has happened, I feel like. I feel like this is something that has happened before. And Judgment is saying, like, this is your opportunity to really make things right, or to fall back into your old habits and to remain stuck in complacency with this Hanged Man reverse. To remain complacent, to not have any sort of new mindset, or to not have a new perspective, to not gain a new perspective, to not look at things in a different frame, essentially. So that could also be a thing for you. And I feel like the universe is like presenting to you like, hey, you have the world in your hands right now. Don't mess it up. And we have conflict here with the Five of Wands, but I won't get too into that. I think I'm going to leave it there for now. But I feel like here, with the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands here, this just signifies the overall conflict in the Lover's reverse, that there's a lot of arguing, there's a lot of back and forth, not seeing each other's perspective, and it's because the Hangman reverse is stuck in their own ways. They're stuck in kind of pointing the finger and not reflecting on their own selves, not introspecting, and not realizing where they may have been at fault. There's a lot of emotional immaturity here that I feel that ultimately leads to the downfall of this potential relationship. It doesn't have to be a love relationship. It can be a friendship, a job, relationship, friendship. I think I already said that. But whatever this is, I feel like this ultimate argument and like the refusal or the inability to reflect and to realize where one may have gone wrong and accepting that and acknowledging that and apologizing for that and working to be better, that ultimately leads to this judgment moment and, you know, things having to close and things kind of just falling apart, because I feel like this may have gone on for way too long and it was very overwhelming and it's over now. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into the Oracle. I'm going to be using my Wisdom of the Oracle deck to get further insight into this situation. Alright, so what messages can we get for Pisces based on the spread? Based on the energy for Pisces for the next 2 weeks. Alrighty. Oh, that was quick. We've got two. Bottom of the deck is TikTok. TikTok, and then bottom, regeneration. So regeneration really resonates with the Tower energy, and then judgment, or TikTok really resonates a lot with the Judgment card. But okay, so we have Orphaned, which was the first card that came out. Orphaned. Here and Now. And then Time to Go. So it's interesting because here and now, the numbers add up to 5, and then Orphaned is also 5. And in numerology, I'm not like really very well versed in numerology, but from what I know, the number 5 symbolizes a lot of change and a lot of conflict. I mean, we had the Five of Wands here, so there's a lot of change, there's a lot of friction here. So things are really meant to change, things are really meant to go back and forth and kind of just like lead to a new direction, essentially. And then we have Time to Go, which I think, yeah, that's a number 9, 45, that adds up to a 9, and so numerology, that's all about like completion, I'm pretty sure. I'm a life path 9, if anyone was curious. But I'm pretty sure this signifies, like, completion. And, I mean, it says time to go. So, like, this is really time for you to let go of this chapter in your life. If this is the Tower moment, this is time to leave. It's out with the old, in with the new. It's time to let go. It's time to leave. And I feel like some of you maybe feel like you're an outsider, or maybe you feel really alone or misunderstood. Or maybe you feel like everything is just falling apart around you, and maybe you feel like there's just this barren wasteland. But I feel like it's just time for you to leave your nest, because there's a nest here. This woman or this person is, you know, sitting in their nest, and they're looking down, and they're kind of like pitying themselves, it kind of feels like. And they're not seeing the opportunity that could be found by just leaving the nest and by exploring and by doing their own thing. Two of Wands, by making the decision to be independent and to do your own thing. And I feel like some of you are really stuck in the perspective that you are alone, or that you are a victim. And sure, you might be a victim, but how are you going to empower yourself is the question. How can you empower yourself so that you can move forward and accept the changes that are coming your way? And are you going to remain in your nest for however long because it's the only thing that you know? Or are you going to go out of your way to leave the nest and to explore different opportunities, to explore different things in general? Are you going to focus on the past, and are you going to focus on how people may have wronged you, or how people may not have done you right, or how you have been let down in the past? Are you going to focus on all of the things that have gone wrong, or are you going to focus on the now and what you can do now to change your path, to change your life? That's essentially the message, I think, that's coming for you. And I feel that with this TikTok card, really quick, I feel like this is saying that there's, you know, not only is time unlimited, but I feel like use time to your advantage. I feel that a lot of you had enough time to heal and to grow and to use your time wisely. And now it's that period that now that the deadline is kind of here, it's up to you what you do. And I feel like this really ties into, you know, leaving your nest and whatever. But I feel like it's really important for you to focus on the here and now, to focus on the present rather than the past or what people have done in the past or whatever it is. It's time for you to focus on what you can do now, here and now. And I feel like right now it's just the time for you to leave. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to open a new door and to close the old one and to not revisit that chapter in your life anymore. And sooner or later, you know, times are changing, things are changing, and you can either go with it or you can stay where you are. So I feel like right now is really a wonderful opportunity for regeneration, for transformation, for restructuring. So yeah, this was a little bit long. I apologize. But let's get into the affirmations really quick and then we'll be done, yeah? So what affirmation does Pisces need to hear based off the current energy for the next 2 weeks? Alright, what affirmation does Pisces need to hear based off of the current energy? Oh, okay. Alright. So we'll go with that then. So we have self-love. I openly embrace a feeling of self-love, the PG kind. I love myself because I understand myself. I love myself as the most committed partner I will ever have. I show myself love any way that I can, and when I screw up, I remember to be sweet and gentle with myself. If not, I'm going to make myself sleep on the couch. Got that, self? And then we have no judgments. I release myself from any and all judgments. I find my inner critic, call it into my office, and tell it to take a vacation. As it leaves the room, I let out a sigh and begin to enjoy the joy of simply living. Who hired that guy anyway? So that's what we have for you, Pisces. I really hope that this resonates with you. Let me know if it does. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments down below. I love interacting with you and just hearing your stories and everything that you have to say. If it did resonate with you, let me know. Like I said, like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Share with your friends, family, loved ones, whoever, your classmate, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you desire to know when I upload my videos. Soon, I think I'm going to, hopefully, actually I'm not even going to say anything because I don't want to jinx it. But, let's see. If you are interested in booking a personal reading with me, I am back open for personal readings, this week. So if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. All of the information that you need is on the website. Please take the time to read the terms and conditions, the privacy policy, the disclaimers. Read everything. Read the descriptions of the readings. Make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into when you're booking a reading with me. Please. Please, I implore you. But yeah, I think that's it, my loves. If you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. I think that's it. So There we go. I hope you have a wonderful full moon, my loves. Please take care of yourselves. Please drink lots of water. Please give yourself a hug. Seriously, give yourself a hug. And acknowledge how far you have come in this life. And acknowledge the hard work that you've put in and everything that you have done to reach this moment in time and to continue living on this earth, because I know that it can be very hard to live here. So just acknowledge that, okay? I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye.